Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 replay cast. And it is a 2 vs 2 on Avalanche. It is a Warcraft 3 ArenaNet top replay, but it is a slightly older one, so it will be phased out shortly. But I seen the players, knew I had to cast it. Down on the bottom, we have our first team, consists of our blue player, Grubby, as the Undead, and our teal human player, Gusch, and I have no idea how to pronounce his name, but in every replay that I cast of his, I just call him Gusch because I think it's funny. But no disrespect, very, very good player. Usually has a really good Blood Mage play, and there it goes right off the bat. I actually heard one person say that he was Todd, but I somewhat doubt that because I know Warcraft 3 ArenaNet, or rather Todd's name on there, and that is Yon M, or Yoan M. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name, so I'm not sure if that's Todd or not. If anybody could actually confirm on that, that would be pretty great. Up top, we have Team 2. It's going to consist of our red team, red orc player Kodos Forsaken, Kodos number 1. And on the left side here, we have our red human player, Wearefoals. So all of these players I have casted before. It should be a really great game. We're going to speed it on up to the 2x mark, to the 2-minute point when all the heroes come out, all the good stuff starts to happen. And I just realized it's a 2x mark where it's really 8x speed is the max. But you get the point. It'll be a Death Knight for Grubby, Blood Mage for Gooch. Already going into the gold mine, missed that, and plowed through that with some militia. Got himself a healing ward out of that. Also up top, same thing. Wearefoals going after the Ochre Magi camp, and pretty much insta expanding here. Kodos Forsaken providing that friendly watchtower for that. Book of the Dead drops for Foals, which is a very good item to siege with. Really prefer just to jump into somebody's base and then pop that, kill a whole bunch of peasants that way. And Death Knight will be going after the Forest Troll Zerker camp. Gets a tome strength out of that, and will bail after he gets his item. Good thing too, as the Blade Master was already all over that.
Our forces are under attack.
And having an issue with the Troll Trapper for some reason. There he goes. And a little bit of scouting action from Gooch up there with the Footman. Also seeing the human expansion. Can't be done with any other race really that quickly, just because you have militia as human. And you can just sort of bust down those rocks and then quickly kill the NPC camp. And Grubby saying, share, dude! Didn't share your units. And that is getting speed built here pretty quickly. Gonna build it in the middle so that you can have 5 over here, 5 over there. And then he will feed that money to Grubby at some point. Same thing with Foals. We'll end up feeding money to Kodos. Blade Master all over the Death Knight here, but in a pretty bad spot. Taking a lot of damage from Skeletal Warriors and the Crypt Fiends. And now up top, Gooch has made his way into Foals' expansion. Good thing there is a watchtower there, forcing the Blood Mage down a little bit of health, but honestly not doing too great, but better than nothing. Footman here is going to get taken down by the Blade Master. Blade Master with dual circlets of nobility, gloves of haste, and boots of speed. So pretty well decked out Blade Master at level 1. And not too much for Grubby right now. Hasn't really gotten any significant camps that have dropped anything really other than tomes. And Blood Mage has ran away from the expansion. It did cause quite a bit of chaos though. Still trying to make it, and hasn't completed it yet. So definitely put his opponent way behind. And Gooch actually usually goes with a blade, with a Paladin and Blood Mage combo. I see a lot, or Mountain King, as you can just transfer that mana to your other hero. So essentially, a Paladin can just kind of infinitely heal as long as you have the mana on the Blood Mage, which you usually do, because you can just steal it from an opponent and then give it right to the Paladin. Battle going on down yonder. Blade Master running away. Not too much he can do down there with the Death Knight. However, the Blood Mage is in a pretty bad spot. Does have healing wards, but definitely doesn't want to drop them now. Will end up teleporting out of here. No dies to a crit.
An allied hero has been
And a bit of a mistake on Gooch's part there. Didn't really anticipate that crit. And I guess really none of us can. That's why the Blade Master is so good. But In terms of speaking about the Blood Mage, I really truly think that the Blood Mage is one of the most underrated heroes in the game. I've seen some seriously good Blood Mage play that I really never saw all that much back in the day when Warcraft 3 was, I suppose, in its heyday when I was on Battle.net. And it is just so good. You can steal from Shaman and other casters and such, so you can essentially make units useless on the other team while giving your team mana. Just so good. Can't speak enough about the Blood Mage, as long as he is played correctly. And now Gusch is going to be taking the Ogre camp here from his opponent up top. And now the Blood Archmage. So many mages and bloods and bees. He's trying to break in from the other side. Not sure if that's going to work too well. I suppose opening up two ways is definitely better than one, as you could use one as an exit point at some point in the game. But Grubby is right there, and I would be able to react to that pretty easily. Meanwhile, back to the bases here. Fortress coming up. Bestiaries for Kodos. And that Town Hall is going strong. Just now getting a keep. So the human player's way behind in terms of tech, as he's only getting a keep just now, and that's because of this Town Hall here and making so many peasants for these mines. But this is going to pay off really big for each team, as they will be able to just funnel massive amounts of gold to their allies. And there goes 1,100 gold to Grubby there.
Our forces are under attack.
So now Grubby's sporting 1,700 gold. And we'll be able to super attack, essentially.
Upgrade complete.
And a bit of a failed push there on the expansion. Killed a few peasants. Definitely slowing down this expansion quite a lot. And that is the goal. Doesn't necessarily have to take it out. Just essentially make it non-profitable. If you keep killing these peasants at 75 gold per peasant, they're only bringing back 10 at a time, depending on, of course, your supply. But so as long as you kill a few peasants, it actually takes quite a bit to recover from that. Somebody messaging me on Steam. And Blademaster takes out the Trapper camp. And Windrider is sporting now for Kodos.
Summoning is complete.
And Archmage now busting into the expansion here, see if he can get some things done. Couple scout towers coming up, really vulnerable right now. And the Elemental could just easily shoot these down. Going after the peasants, though. And just a few hits on these scout towers, trying to get the tower up now. Not much of a threat. They're not actually going into guard towers, so he's avoiding them right now, just trying to get to the peasants. And Archmage takes a wicked mana drain there. And Blood Mage good to go on mana. +6 laws of attack on that mage. Meanwhile, Grubby taking out the Mauler camp here at the Fountain of Health. And Hood of Cunning on him, and a Healthstone as well. One of my favorite items to have around, Healthstone, just so good. A little bit of regeneration, not too much, but essentially a nice potion.
Summoning is complete. Research complete.
Mage in a bit of trouble here, completely surrounded. Has a Scroll Town portal, will end up using that. Should end up using that. There he goes. Very close. Cutting that one really short. Skeletal Warrior checking out the base of Foals. And not too much going on there, really. Still just that expansion up top feeding Kodos. And Kodos looking fairly strong right now. Tons of Windriders out on the field. However, Spiders coming for Grubby here, so gonna get countered in that sense. So if he attacks Gusch instead, he would have much better luck. Perhaps just go around the side of the map and start attacking the main base or peasants, rather than going after these spiders, because if they have web, this isn't going to be too good for Kodos. Loses the Lich there instantly. And a strike on the Mountain King will take the Mountain King down. It's going to be really close here. Yep, just barely gets it. Had a Scroll of Healing on. Really healing salve. And so just another second or two might have had enough health to survive that big flame strike on those peasants. And does get the majority of them out. This one will die from the fire. And this is exactly what Gusch is doing correctly. This game is just assaulting this over and over. Grubby says he can't beat that army, but I'm not so sure about that. If you can get webbed, then this Wind Rider's not going to do too hot. However, the game definitely riding so far on that expansion up there, being harassed over and over. Grubby taking some huge damage here. Wind Rider's coming in all over the place. Now has web, but taking serious damage here from 3 heroes from Kodos. And when are the units coming out for Gusch? Gotta be soon here. The expansion down here has been running strong and has been harassed relatively little compared to the top expansion. So therefore, lots of additional money to Team 1 and not so much Team Red, as they are losing quite a bit from those harassments. And now Grubby's stuck in his base and has forced his way back to some of his towers. Also has that Black Citadel though, of course. And slowing down these units with a Nerubian Tower. Black Citadel has a couple Ziggurats as well, or rather Spirit Towers. And Kodos bails. And now some Gargoyles out for Grubby, which should help with those Wind Riders, of course. And Foals' expansion is all jacked up here, and I'm not sure if there's 5 in there. That looks like 4 to me, and it looks like 6, maybe even 7 in there. I don't know, counting, you know, is hard, especially when they're going out like whack-a-mole, but either way, does not look like a correct expansion to me. Could be making a little bit more on that. And now tons of flying machines are being poured out here from Gusch. Is researching those flak cannons as well. And this workshop may go down, so that flak research might not finish. Depends here. Looks like he's going to be going after the guard towers instead. Would be very wise to go after this workshop, get that flak cannon down. And there is also a workshop over there as well. So punching out flying machines 2x2 soon here after this flak cannon, and they will be definitely a little bit better, have a little bit of an area attack against those Wind Riders. And with the Gargoyles and Spiders, I don't think Team 2 is looking too good at this point. Grubby now in the expansion here and is just ravaging it. Here comes the town portal now. Grubby's just going to say, fuck it, town portal as well. Peace out. And damage has been done on that expansion, though. Just 4 peasants here left out of 10 needed. Another 1,100 gold there from Gusch to Grubby. And Grubby's still pounding out Gargoyles as at 53 over 80, which is surprisingly low for the amount of money he has. But is making them, is queued up pretty deep there too, and 3 is getting stone for him as well. And now Torn Chieftain at the store here. I forgot the word for a store for all things. Kind of like when you're like, oh, I need to get a what is the word? What is the word? Oh, a dish. Like, how do you forget that? But you know, I guess I could have just called it a bodega there, the Goblin Bodega, and likely picked up a scroll of healing or something along those lines, maybe scroll of protection, and it doesn't look like anything on there. And not really sure what he picked up, but either way, probably just the usual good stuff, scrolls of healing, and invulnerability potions. Another 500 gold there from Gusch. And now pouring into Gusch's base here. And his name is probably Gusch or Gusch or something, but come on, Gusch is pretty funny. Let's get real. And now the base of Gusch not doing too hot here, but the town portal's going away. And didn't really lose too much. A lot of peasants, but not too big of a deal. Nothing that could be replaced here. The castle going strong. And even gathering lumber from the far reaches of this expansion here, going all the way around there. Could probably just send them up there, get a little bit of lumber, but either way, peasants have a mind of their own. They like to wander off to the furthest places to get lumber, don't they? And now the expansion looks like it's pretty good here, back in order. And some towers need to come up a little bit faster. Maybe strip a couple of these off and make towers a little bit faster, because that expansion has taken heat all game on the main base of Gusch. Master. A few more peasant kills. Level 4. Level 4 Blood Mage as well. Look at some of the heroes here. Level 4. And has a potion of mana there. That will be useful. And only a level 1 Lich, as the Lich, I think he's died once or twice so far. But hasn't been around for some of the major engagements. Will be level 2 shortly. Frost Nova slows that Blade Master down just for a minute, but wasn't enough.
Town is under attack.
And farm block in the way here, but kind of not really. More of a distraction, actually, just slowing down Foals. And now inside the base, over plenty of defense here for Gusch. Even has level 3 fortifications, something I actually speak about once in a while in my casts, that I never see anybody get level 3. They always get level 2, but never level 3. Level 3 is a rarity, and I really enjoy seeing it. As you can see, these 650 armor, 32% damage reduction, and especially when you look at a castle, it's just unbelievable. 3,250 health, and not sure how much, and another 32% reduction as well. So it's just borderline impossible to destroy a castle with level 3, as long as you're defending it in some way. And it certainly makes your towers quite hardy as well. And Grubby going back into the expansion. Really, the goal of this particular map, when you have a 2 versus 2 situation on, is that you want to go human, first of all, obviously, to get those militia to get into this expansion. And then you essentially just feed yourself and your opponent, or rather, in your ally, the expansion here. Just expand right in the center, and then 5 and 5 right there, so you get a pretty much a double expansion of 2 and 1. And if this goes down, then simply it is just completely inadequate to fight your opponent with just 1 expansion, or rather 1 main base for each person. Cole's now pushing in here with a bunch of Spellbreakers surrounding the Mountain King and just absorbing that blizzard. They don't really care. They're immune. They must have thick jackets on. It's like, we're blizzard ready. We got Columbia jacket gear on, and we're good. And Stoneform right on the blizzard. Manor Stoneform there. And now here comes the massive amount of Wind Riders. All of them healing up. Looks like a healing ward over there. And the expansion has been destroyed. Now Team 2 is in a bit of trouble, as the mines only have 2,500 in them, which is plenty fine to continue a game on for a little while. However, these ones going very, very strong.
Stand ready.
And looks like Grubby has expanded himself on the left side there, and is sending 1 acolyte at a time on over, but expansion might not do so well. Gonna try and defend it here, but there is a tank coming now for the gargoyles, so this could prove not so hot for these gargoyles. They are about to get peppered up, and Wind Rider's not going to be able to take it, not going to be able to kill those in time. Now the tanks aren't following the gargoyles. They should have just moved back a little bit. Could have been getting many hits on these. Gonna get some unstable concoction on the gargoyles now, and did some decent area damage to them, but nothing too crazy. Even if he loses some of these gargoyles, it's really just not a big deal. They're so inexpensive to replace. He's probably already got them queued up. No, he has Crypt Fiends queued up. And gonna Fountain of Health some of these gargoyles here. And then come on back. So that did not last too long, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Gargoyle's now going after the Blade Master here. Blade Master taking tons of damage, and takes so much damage there. Frost Nova, Storm Bolt, and all of the gargoyles chasing him as well. And might even have taken a Death Coil there. I'm not really sure. Didn't see that one, but I'd imagine that wouldn't have been so good for the human body to take that much damage. There goes a Death Coil on the Mountain King there. And looks like he just Tavern revived that Mountain King real quick. And just brought him right back. Yeah, pretty low on mana there. somebody revived their Mountain King. Who did? And a little bit of a lull in the action. Everybody chilling in their bathing suits. It's beach season, guys, at the Fountain of Health. Beach season. Get your bodies ready. Engage your core.
Research complete.
And everybody is satisfied with their healing juice. This Crypt Fiend cut it off a little bit short. He wasn't digging Club Med. He's kind of antisocial. Doesn't really, you know, he's kind of an introvert. Doesn't really like the Club Med. He didn't want to engage his core, so he just took off early. He's okay with that though. And expansion taken down by a lowly siege engine. Siege engine going to defend itself though, and pepper up these gargoyles. Not going to be enough though with the regeneration of the Death Knight. Simply not enough. Just one of them. However, a few siege engine start to get to be quite a bit of damage. But did take out that expansion. Stopped it for a little while here. And Scout Tower in front of the gold mine here. Preventing any expansion. Re-expansion at the top once again is going strong here. And looks like Foles has, or rather Kodos has switched up his strategy a little bit to Raiders and Kodo Beasts.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
And we'll see what's going on here for Foles. See what he is trying to accomplish. Still going with those Spellbreakers, and now has 4 tanks. Which could prove pretty lethal to all of those gargoyles. However, even if Grubby loses every single one of these gargoyles now, I really don't think that's going to change too much. Like I said, one, they're extremely easy to replace. They build quickly, and they're very inexpensive. Or he could just simply make a couple more abominations or spiders or something. So it's not going to be too big of a deal either way, I don't think. Just because this expansion on the bottom has been running so long that the amount of funds that they have is pretty overwhelming. And they are at 80 food. Gusch said he is at 80. Grubby is at 78 over 80. So they are looking good to go. It looks like we are about to see a massive battle here. And inside, the tanks will be tucked away in the back. So we'll be able to do pretty good damage to these flying machines as well.
Our brethren's town is under attack.
However, I'm sure Grubby and Gusch will be quite careful about that. Gonna get netted down. And looks like Foles goes onto the other side. He's going to try and squeeze him in, but instead, Gusch and Grubby just back up a little bit, and that pretty much thwarts that. And both of them went to the left there, and I think one of them probably would have been better off right there. However, these rocks are a bit of a problem in terms of movement, and you could get clogged up there, but either way, this is not working. Huge flame strike on all of these units, but most of them Spellbreakers, so they don't really care. Along with that Columbia gear, they can also withstand fire for some reason. It's good stuff, Columbia, you know, I guess so. I hear good things. I don't have one, but I hear good things. Stoneform Gargoyles trying to survive here. So much regeneration and armor. 53% damage reductions. They don't care at all right now. Just going to get right back up and into the action. Team Red not doing too good here. Down to the nitty-gritty. One hero here, one there, and I think that might be it. Nope, we have the Blade Master still as well. Blade Master going after the Dreadlord now. Dreadlord takes a Death Coil with Ethereal and Banished. Such a strange word. Kind of like Black Sheep, where he's all high and he thinks the word road is interesting. Road. All right, good game, guys. So, Team 1, our winners, Grubby and Gusch. And I'm so sorry, I don't, you know, if you ever watch this video, I'm not making fun of your name. I love you, I think you're a great player. But Team Red did pretty good. However, they let their expansion get sieged way too much, and I think that was the downfall of them. As you can see, pretty similar score. 92,000 for Kodos, 93 and 92 for the other two. However, Foles got just attacked so many times trying to take that expansion. I think a little bit more towers would have done the trick. Maybe if Kodos gave a little bit more watchtowers. I know he built the one at the beginning, but maybe a few, and then if Foles would have built a few guard towers or such, they would have kept it a little bit longer. But losing that revenue over and over and over and having to replace them with peasants is a serious detriment. And so you got to think that if you make a peasant, it's got to go back and forth 7 times. So if you make 5 peasants, you know, you can see where it starts to add up, and you really need time to make a profit on your expansion once you replace it or replace peasants and such like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I do apologize because I know some people sometimes comment on my channel and they say, "Oh, like I've already seen this video. Why did you cast this video?" And they're seemingly slightly upset as well, and I do apologize for that. So I don't always watch Grubby's stream. I actually follow him on Twitch. And I watch him sometimes, but I don't always follow all his games. So sometimes he streams a game, and then sometimes you guys see it, and then when I cast it, you know, you're like, hey, I've already seen this game. But so that's sort of the reasoning behind that. I'm not sure who casted this game. I'm not sure who streamed this game. But once I find it, I say, hey, I'm gonna cast that game. And if you guys want to watch it, you guys go right ahead, and I appreciate it, and I love you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. And as usual, I'll see you guys next time.